So today our lesson will be about plant stems. Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, March 26th. You have already done the assignment on this section, but I wanted to explain this section. So the learning objectives of this period will be, in this period, we'll identify the similarities and differences between the structures and functions of sclerenchyma, vessel cells, and xylem vessels and phloem. Now, what are the functions of the stem? If you look at this plant, this is the stem in the middle, and also this is a branch of the stem, and it goes into the leaves. So the stem has functions here like supporting the leaves upright. So one of the functions is support the leaves, support the flowers, and support the buds as well. So the first function of the stem is support. The second function of the stem is transport. It transports water, transports minerals and sugars, transports water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, and transport the sugars which are made in the leaves by photosynthesis into other parts of the plant. Now this is a cross-section of the stem. It's a dicot stem. You can see the vascular bundles. These vascular bundles are arranged in a ring in the stem. Each vascular bundle contains uh, xylem, phloem, and sclerenchyma. The sclerenchyma is just like in the outer part here. We have the xylem in the middle or to the inside, phloem to the outside, and between them we have the cambium. So like here we have xylem, the phloem, and the other part here will be the cambium. So this part is the sclerenchyma, this part, while this part is the xylem, and this part will be the phloem. Just in between them, we have the vascular cambium. The vascular cambium is made up of stem cells, and these stem cells can differentiate into xylem or into phloem. So I have here different tissues in the stem. As you can see here again, these are the sclerenchyma cells. Here we have the xylem cells, and here we have the phloem. As you can see in the xylem are bigger than the phloem cells. The xylem cells have thick walls, while the phloem cells, they don't have thick walls. Here we have as well the parenchyma cells. All of these are parenchyma cells. Parenchyma cells are cells that are undifferentiated, unspecialized. They are stem cells that can differentiate into other types of cells. At the same time, they play a big role in storing sugars and other material in the plant. The xylem, as we said, it transports water and mineral salts. The phloem transports sugars. Sclerenchyma cells, these are dead cells, and they provide support. The xylem cells also provide support. We'll talk in a bit about xylem cells. So again, we have three types of tissues. Parenchyma tissue. The parenchyma tissue is made up of living cells. There are spaces between the cells, and they are just filling spaces or storing material. The second type of tissue here or cells are the collenchyma tissue. In the collenchyma tissue, they have thick cell walls. So these cells, they have thick cell walls, but they are still living cells. You can see the nucleus, you can see the cytoplasm. So you can see we have a nucleus, we have the cytoplasm, and these cells, they have thick cells at the corners of the cells, thick cell walls, and still living. The last one here is sclerenchyma tissue. The sclerenchyma tissue is a dead tissue. It's a dead tissue made up of dead cells. How can I tell? They are dead because of this lignin. They are highly lignified. Their cell walls are highly lignified. They have thick cell walls. It's a woody cell wall. It's wood. If they have this thick cell wall, how come the cell will receive nutrients. So absolutely the cell will not receive nutrients here and they will die. One form of sclerenchyma cells is the sclerids. Sclerids are elongated fibers, as its name. Sclerenchyma fibers, they are lignified. If they are lignified, this means they are strong. They give strength to the plant. They give support. We find them in the stem. We find them in the vein of the leaves. It gives support for the leaves to stay upright, to receive sunlight. It helps the roots as well. They are found also in the roots, like they help the plant anchor in the soil to resist like the wind or the movement of the plant by the wind. Now, if we go to the transport, the part of the transport implant, we have the xylem and phloem. These are the vascular tissue. Starting about the xylem. If you look at the xylem here, it's only one way direction. It's from the roots to the leaves, transports water and minerals. The walls of the xylem, they are very thick walls. They are lignified. These are lignified cell walls, give strength to the xylem vessels. They give support, and that's why the xylem plays a role in support, in addition to transport. Between the cells, between the cells, we have no cell wall, so no end walls between the cells, and the outer cells, of course, are not living cells. Xylem is an empty, hollow cells. They are not living cells. On the other side, if we talk about the phloem, you can see the phloem, it has movement in both directions, from the roots, leaves to other parts of the plant. And between the cells, here I have a sieve plate. So there is end wall, but this end wall is perforated. You can see these like holes in the walls. These allow things to go in and out. Now the phloem cells are living cells, and this is a sieve tube cell. It's living cells, but still it's empty, no nucleus, no organelles in these cells. Now the question is, how do they get their nutrients if there are no organelles and no nucleus in them? Obviously, the answer is the companion cells. So let's talk more about the xylem cells first. If you look, this is the xylem cells, and this is also xylem cells, but the xylem cells, the xylem tissue is made up of two types of uh, like vessel elements, and tracheids. Tracheids, you see like the end walls, how are they like transversal? And this is the vessel element. So they conduct water and minerals. Movement also only one way. Walls composed of dead cells. These are dead cells. In them, you might find like pits. You might find like pits. Pits are like areas in the walls of the xylem where there is thin cell wall. It allows water to move out of the xylem to neighboring cells. So it's an area of thin cell wall. Of course, the walls of the xylem are lignified and they are dead cells. Water moves in the xylem by two things, by two processes, cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion is the attraction of water molecules to each other, and adhesion is the attraction of water molecules with the surfaces. Now, if we want to talk about the phloem is, as we said, are living cells, and we have like the phloem sieve tube, and we have the companion cells just beside. So the companion cells provide nutrients for the sieve tube, and the phloem cells transport water and food in two ways. They have end walls, they are perforated, they make the sieve plate, and they move the sap made by photosynthesis